6 bodies transported to the ME's office in Richmond for identification tonight following a fatal plane crash in Spotsylvania.
Terror on a busy street when road rage leads to a shootout, and it's all caught on camera.
Plus, major detours downtown as demolition begins on this building so a 20-story tower can be built in its place.
On your side, NBC 12 News at 11 starts with breaking news.
The FAA releasing new information tonight about that fiery plane crash in Spotsylvania. Investigators now confirm a Hawker Beechcraft BE-55 aircraft went down with 6 people on board today.
No one survived. State police say all of the victims are from out of state, and so far their names have not been released.
We have team coverage on this fatal crash. Mike Valerio is talking to a witness after she arrived here by train.
But first, we go to Shannon Airport. That's where we find Chris Thomas with the latest on the investigation.
Well, guys, we are here at Shannon Airport. I want to show you here that the doors are locked. Many of the airport officials have left for the night, but I want to show you this. Police are actually still on scene. Just look down the runway here. You'll see there are flashing blue lights. Here is what we know so far. Crews arriving late Friday evening to recover a total of 6 bodies following this tragic plane crash at Shannon Airport.
The only thing you can say is it's just a shame.
Passengers on an Amtrak train to Washington, D.C. witnessed the crash and snapped these photos. Trains are still being allowed through the area, but at a reduced rate of speed.
Saw it on the news, thought we'd come take a look.
Douglas Irvin was born and raised in Fredericksburg and says he was shocked to see the images. Emergency crews responding from the air and on the ground.
It's just a small airport, small aircraft, and usually just private owners.
I want to try to get you as close to the scene as I possibly can. Keep in mind that plane went down here around 12:30, and we're here at the end of the runway. And as you can see, state police are on scene working late into the night. The sun is setting, trying to piece together exactly what happened.
Preliminary investigation appears the plane was attempting to land. The pilot aborted that landing and attempted to take off, and as he was powering up to take off, the plane crashed at the end of the runway.
Sadly, police tell us none of the passengers on board survived.
That's the real bad news, you know.
Officials are still in the process of notifying next of kin, but we do know all 6 victims were from out of state. And back here at the airport, I can tell you state police gave us their final update for the night just a few hours ago. Of course, as soon as we get more information, we'll bring it to you on air and online. But for now, in Fredericksburg, Chris Thomas, NBC 12 News.
Thanks, Chris. And that crash sent debris so far it landed on the train tracks nearby, and at least one Amtrak train was forced to stop for a time. Passengers on board on their way to Richmond watched that scene as they passed by, with one of those passengers speaking to NBC 12 tonight. Mike Valerio now to continue our team coverage.
Well, it was train 79 that came to a stop, with the conductor saying at first that this was simply a fire, but with the next update that this was indeed a plane crash, that sent a silence across the entire train.
Tanya Aquino took this photo. Spotsylvania fire, feet from the tracks, feet from the wreckage.
And as we roll by, you could actually see parts of the plane, white pieces of metal strewn about the ground, but it looked very devastating.
The impact sent debris onto the tracks. The train stopped, and passengers like Tanya took to Twitter to find out what was happening. She remembered when the news broke and the gravity hit.
I said, I want to pray for these folks to the lady next to me, and she expressed the same sentiment.
Her second photo captures fire still burning, but she stopped taking pictures and tells us what she saw.
After a while, when the debris was cleared from the tracks, we actually rolled by slowly, and everyone on the train jumped to the window as they saw plumes of smoke and flames like 25 feet up in the air, just a little bit off the tracks.
Hopes from those on train 79 that this was only a brush fire gone, as most caught a glimpse of the wreckage.
Could you tell that it was a plane? What did it look like?
It looked, you couldn't even tell it was a plane. I only knew it was a plane because the train conductor said that there was a plane crash.
The hundreds on board continued to Richmond. As the train cleared the scene, teams continued to work well into the night.
And Tanya also told us there were plenty of children sitting nearby her, with their parents now having to explain what they all saw, with 6 people now gone. That's the latest here in Richmond. Mike Valerio, NBC 12.
Okay, Mike, thank you. And NBC 12 will continue to follow new developments on this crash throughout the weekend. The fastest way to get any late-breaking information, of course, is through our free news app.
Right now, temperatures hovering around the 80-degree mark as we take a live look across downtown Richmond. It is still muggy out there, and it's only going to get worse.
In fact, the heat and humidity will soar over the next few days. That's why this is a first alert action day for both Saturday and Sunday.
Meteorologist Jim Duncan is here with a warning about just how hot it's going to get.
Yeah,
Jim.
it's going to be dangerously hot if you're out for any length of time. And the heat, you have to remember, is a very subtle effect on your body, on your health, and it can be very, very dangerous. In fact, one of the worst weather effects you can have is from heat stroke, that sort of thing, because it kind of sneaks up on you. We do have those first alert action days for tomorrow and Sunday. Also, heat advisories from the Weather Service for tomorrow. Highs expected to reach mid-90s, but the heat index at 105 or higher tomorrow afternoon. Best advice, obviously, limit your outdoor activities. If you're going to be outdoors, such as the Richmond Jazz Festival, just stay cool any way you can. Bring a hat, get in shady areas as much as possible. Stay hydrated with plenty of water, of course. And here's a map. This is how the heat index is determined. There's a fancy formula, but this chart kind of breaks it down from the National Weather Service. Temperature at 96 tomorrow, humidity in the 50% range, 104 to 108 our heat index. That's in the orange zone here. That's dangerous heat, okay? So the likelihood of heat disorders of prolonged exposure or strenuous activities out in the heat. So just be extra careful tomorrow. If you're going to be out doing chores outside tomorrow, do it early in the morning, best time, obviously. And here's that heat advisory in effect from 11 a.m. to 8 o'clock tomorrow night. I'll break it down in your full hour-by-hour forecast coming up.
Oh yeah, a quick sound check at the Hippodrome before some big acts took to the stage for day 2 of the Richmond Jazz Festival. Gia Queen, Chicken Grease, Kia Bennett, Loston Harris, and Alvin Garrett all performing before a packed house at the Homegrown at the HIP event of the Jazz Festival. Tomorrow, the Jazz Fest moves to Maymont, and organizers are certainly well aware of the heat wave. That's why you can bring as much bottled water as you want, along with picnic baskets. You cannot bring glass containers and alcohol, however. While the heat won't take away from a great show, just please do come prepared.
We definitely recommend, bring that straw hat, bring that bottled water, and just come and have a great time.
Herbie Hancock, The Roots, and Wyclef Jean among the big names performing this weekend. We will be there enjoying the music, and we hope to see all of you. For a full list of performers and information on how to buy tickets, just head to NBC12.com/jazz. Look for live coverage from Maymont starting on 12 News Today, Saturday at 6 a.m.
New tonight, the demolition begins in downtown Richmond. Dominion began tearing down a 6-story building and the parking garage next door to make way for a new 20-story tower. All this is happening next to Dominion's downtown headquarters. That demolition will not happen overnight. Actually, it'll take about 4 months.
About 5% of the building will be demolished this weekend. It's mostly going to be the parking structure, and that will enable us to get heavy equipment into what is now the building so they can work on interior and exterior demolition.
All lanes on 7th Street near Carey Street expected to remain closed throughout the weekend. Construction on the new 20-story tower begins early next year and should be finished in 2019.